Hey everybody. This is going to be kind of a quick one. My buddy Joe here is working on a project. He's having some issues with it, and believe me, I've been having issues with it, but I got the majority of it figured out. We're going to be using something in the Vectric software that's not used very often, or at least that I haven't seen used it often. Um, I would think it would be used more by lasers than CNC, but Joe came up with a unique use for it, and um, we're going to make it work one way or another. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this down here. This is plate production. Right there, that's plate production. We're going to use that little option. Um, this is, right now I'm using Vectric Aspire, which is what Joe uses. And so I'm not sure which of the Vectric softwares this is in offhand. It may be in all of them. It may just be in Aspire. It may be in Prone Aspire. And you know how those work. But we definitely have it here, and we're going to get it going. All right, so he has his project here. He's got an outline that'll be going around here. Here's our profile. Here's an outline. We've got text, 3 patches, the helicopter image, and then this is just a bounding box. This won't be carved, but it's just there. He wants 2 columns of information. A name, a couple of dates, and another number, and we need to get those in. Now, the way we're going to bring this in, there are 400 plus of these lines of information that we have to bring in, so it's not very feasible to type them in by hand. I mean, if you had to, you would, but we're not going to do that. So we're going to use plate production to do that, or try to attempt to use plate production to do that. So I took some measurements, and plate production usually uses the whole sheet. But what we wanted to do is just put it within this piece here. So I needed to check, because we can set our margins, and we're going to set our margins to keep everything within the bounds of this box. So by checking these earlier, I found that this is 11.5 inches, this is 1.5 inches, and then I have 2 inches on either side. Okay? So the first thing I need to do is create some variables, and a variable is just a placeholder. So we need some placeholder text and just one line of it to start our names going up. Now we want to do text in a box, so first I'm going to create a box. Because we want 2 columns, our box can be, we're going to go 9.5 inches, and I'm going to put the text height of 3/8.375 inches. I'm going to apply that. Now what I want to do is I want to align this to the lower corner of this. So I'm going to shift click that one. And then using my alignment buttons over here, I'm going to go down to the bottom and over to the side. Okay, so that aligns my box up really nice right there. Now I'm going to select my box here. I'm going to do text in a box. Now in my text in a box, remember these are placeholders, so for the software to recognize these as a placeholder, we have to go double exclamation, and our first column of information in the spreadsheet are the names. So we're going to go N for name. Actually, I'm just going to make that lowercase n, and then double exclamation again, because that ends that block there. I'm going to double space so that it spaces things out nicely in our box. Double exclamation, and we're going to go B for born, double exclamation, double space, double exclamation, D for death, double exclamation, double space, double exclamation. I'm going to do an R for RVN, which I'm guessing is like a unit number for these guys. Now here's where I ran into my first issue. If I just do this and I bring in these 4 things, for some reason it only brings in the first 3. Now I have a couple of theories about why. It could be that computers start at 0 and use 0 as the first number, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3 would be 4. Or it could be that it counts the line numbers in the spreadsheet as the first column, which again would knock us down to where only 3 of the 4 came in. But either way, here is our spreadsheet. Either way, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to add another column. I'm just going to call it empty. I'm not going to put any data in there or anything. and then I'm going to save that as data CSV. Okay, and this is the one that he sent me. As you can see, it's 433, which is actually 432 because our first line is our column headings. That's a lot of information. All right, so we've got that set, and because we created empty, I also need to come up here, do an E, and our double exclamation at the beginning as well, and there we go. So now those should all be good. Now I'm going to select just that text. I'm going to come over here, jump over, there we go. I'm going to delete this one. That was from my tests. Okay, he already has his profile, and if I pop these on, you'll see he's got his profile, toolpath, he's got his first vcarve, second vcarve, patch 1, third vcarve, patch 2, fourth vcarve is patch 3, and the fifth vcarve is the helicopter. Okay, so we're going to select our text here, and we're going to vcarve it. He's got a flat depth set. I don't think that's going to bother us at all because it won't go near that for these. I wouldn't guess. And we're going to call this vcarve 6 is fine, but we're going to say no carve because we just want this to give us a toolpath so I can have the plate system automatically generate the toolpaths for me. So I will calculate that out, and it's going to come over here, and I'm not even going to preview it. It's in the right spot. It's where I want it, right down there. So I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Close out of this. Come back to my other side. Go back to my 2D view. Now I'm going to select my box and my information within it. I'm going to come and I'm going to click on plate production. And here, our overall sheet size, our project size is 24 by 36. Our plate width, which is this outer box here, is 9.5 by 0.375, 3/8. Remember I had told you about the margins. Our top margin is 11.5 inches, left is 2, right is 2, bottom is 1.5 inches up. In between the two columns, this column and the right column, I want a 1-inch spacing. And then spacing between rows, I have set at 0.125 at the moment. These numbers are fluid. They can be changed for whatever you need. It's going to auto-calculate everything, and also I have Create Toolpaths checked. Now we get over here to our data to engrave. In our data to engrave, we're going to import our file, which is our data CSV. Open that, and you can see in our top row here, we have our headings, which is name, born, died, RVN, empty. Okay, and I told the system that this first row is the column names. Now with that checked, it's going to know, kind of ignore these. We're not going to do anything with these. That's all they are headings. You could uncheck this if you wanted these printed, but I wasn't sure, so I've just got it checked right now. Okay. And now I'm going to, let's make sure I got everything here. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to come down here, and we have to assign our variables. These variable names down here have to be assigned to a column. N, we know, is assigned to the name column. B is going to be assigned to the born column. D is going to be assigned to the died column. R is going to be assigned to the RVN column. And then I'm going to assign empty to the empty column, but remember there's nothing in that column. There's no data in there, so nothing will print from that or carve from that. All right, so I have all the information in there, and I've got them all set as text. Numbers we have to get into, it's basically so you can do number formatting. These numbers count as text because that's what it is in this, and we're just going to leave it at that. And we're going to calculate it out. And this is going to take a while, so I'll probably speed this up, but it's going to take a couple of minutes, mainly because I'm screen capturing, but be back with you soon. Okay, So you can see it lit it up for me. And we've got our name, and it puts these quotes on there because that's the way that the Excel file spits out that CSV. If you open up the CSV in Notepad, you'll see that it puts those quotes on there. My guess, and this is just a guess, would be because they have a comma after the last name, so it's last name, comma, William L. is the way they have it set up in that particular column. Those may be to let you know that that's not a separate data item, because it's this is a comma delineated list. There's different types, commas, tabs, or whatever, but this one's a comma delineated list. So I'm guessing that's what it is. But as you can see, it's got all the information in there now, when before it didn't have. So we've got that done. So now all we have to do is jump over to our other side here. And as you can see, we have S1, which stands for sheet 1, or our first project board, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's, we've got, what does it say, 90 some per. So there's about 90 some names. Now this can be spread out by your spacing or by the size of these. You can get it to fill up all the boards, or you can have some space, or however you want to do that. That can be adjusted by just adjusting the height and the spacing between these. But remember, your height, you're a little limited. Some of these are getting, like this one's getting pretty close. So you go a little bit higher. Remember, the higher you go, this is going to spread out as well. But okay, let's take a look and see what this looks like. So we're going to go to our, check our preview, can't spit it out. We're going to preview our toolpaths and run the simulation. So I want to run my profile. I want to run my vcarve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do not want to run 6, and for the S's, for our sheets, I'm going to run one sheet at a time, which sheet 1 is currently checked. So all but this profile can be run out as one toolpath. Okay, you only need to do this once, but all of these you're going to have to do with each one of these. So all of these plus S1, then all of these plus S2, then all of these plus S3, all of these plus S4, all of these plus S5. All those are separate toolpaths. Okay, and then you only need one profile toolpath because that'll be the same for all of them, or should be the same for all of them. So now let's preview our visible, because these have the checks in the boxes here. These are visible toolpaths, as you can see over here. We're going to preview our visible toolpaths. Now, Joe has this set up as a solid black material color with a, looks like a gray global fill. All right, so now we're going to come in here and we're going to zoom in a little bit. On this one, I'm thinking you may want to use a large area clearance tool. And that would smooth those spaces out. You could probably do it on all these two as well. And but that would be another tool change, but you don't have to worry about it because these would probably be 1/8 inch. I would do these 1/8 inch end mill, but you don't have to. That's just, you may do a little sanding in there, but it doesn't look like it's a lot. But as you can see, it's got all the names in there. Now, my issue comes with, why are they changing size? Why are these, I mean, this length is, this should have filled the text box. It obviously didn't. This should have been at least the size of this one. So I don't know why it's doing that. I haven't figured that out. So that's what I have to get with Vectric about. But as you can see, it printed these out nicely. Now, to get rid of these quotation marks, I would say you could try taking the comma out, like take the first 10 or 20 names, or first 10 or 20 lines of the Excel file, paste them into a new file, and just try taking the commas out of there and then running it and seeing if that makes a difference. Um, Other than that, you would probably have to go into the CSV file itself in Notepad or some type of text editor and take those out. I'm not sure of any other way to do that, but just to see if it would work, that would probably be my first suggestion. Um, but as you can see, this works, and it works pretty good. It looks nice. Even with them being a different size, it doesn't look bad, but it just seems a little weird to me that it's doing that. It's not, the text in the box isn't doing what it's supposed to do with all those um, data inputs. But other than that, it looks decent. All right, so I'm going to end it there for right now. Hopefully this helps you out, at least gives you an idea, gets you moving along, and I'm getting with Vectric about why the text is changing, because currently I think that's the only real issue. Well, that and the quotation marks, but I don't think we're going to be able to. Quotation marks, I believe, is a Microsoft issue, which, yeah, we got a lot of good luck trying to get that one help with that one. But we could possibly try a tab delineated CSV file, which is, I think it goes under, if I remember right, in Excel you have to go under export other file types, and I think it's a tab delineated under there, but I am not for sure. Something worth thinking about, possibly worth trying, because then maybe it wouldn't need the quotation marks there, and it might leave the comma in as well. But alrighty, so that's it for this one, and if anybody has any questions, you all know how to get a hold of me, and I will hope to talk to all of you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.